As I traverse the great and wondrous plains of the Earth, specifically the European plains, one thing stands above all else to me: lane splitting. It's everywhere, and it seems to be pretty contagious. To be honest, lane splitting is kinda like Eurobro herpes, and I may have caught the bug. Mama tried to warn me about those short shorts, but would I listen? No! Maybe I did and maybe I didn't. You can find out for the low price of a bottle of coveted Yammie Noob Gooch juice. Check it out, see what all the hype is about, which reminds me we're working on some high quality merch and other goodies for you guys. We've heard plenty of comments clamoring about it, and we're gonna be ready to supply it later this year, maybe in the summer. Keep your eyes peeled because this summer we are going ham and we are going in. If you guys have any idea for merch, please leave me a comment below. We are kind of doing early research, so let me know. Also, we've got big news over here. April is the month of giving. At least in the Yam tradition, we're kicking things off right. As many of you know, we give away bikes around here, and Ridge Wallet is a proud sponsor of your sweet boy Chamois Cube, and they've been a hell of a partner. If you don't know, they make the finest in minimal RFID blocking, high quality, everyday carry items as they call it. We've got a litany of wallets up for grabs, and all you need to do is go to my Instagram at Yammie_noob and follow the instructions to enter to win. We'll have more wallets up for grabs, and if you're a supporter over at Patreon, you'll get entered to win even more cool giveaways. But for now, head over to my Instagram and look for a post with a Ridge wallet, follow the instructions, and we'll select one lucky winner at random. Good luck. Now, while you're checking out that sweet Ridge wallet giveaway, go ahead and smash that subscribe button. The lovely people over at YouTube have a reward system in place, and all you have to do is hit subscribe and ring the notification bell to be a part of it. Now, the reward? You'll get an almost daily dose of Yam delivered to your preferred viewing device before anyone else. Seriously, we pump them out 5 times a week. We got your list videos, your vlogs, your weekly bike giveaway content. Yup, we give away motorcycles. Don't believe me? Check that link out below and find out. That's exclusivity. That's how you get the first like, comment, smash. That's how you get a response from me. Now, moving on. Riding a motorcycle is arguably the preferred method of motorized transportation across Europe, and it is incredibly efficient. Unlike in the US, motorcycles rule the roads on the streets across the pond, and drivers are well versed in motorcycle safety and awareness. So, what exactly is lane splitting? Let's take a look. Lane splitting is when a motorcyclist rides between cars by riding on the dividing line of a street, road, or highway. And no, it's nothing like those squid missiles you've seen going 100 miles per hour, dodging cops and risking life and limb on YouTube. No, lane splitting or filtering is a refined and gentlemanly activity. In essence, lane splitting is a motorcycle rider's opportunity to maximize efficiency and take advantage of the size and maneuverability of their vehicle. While it's legal all over the rest of the world, California is the only state in the US that officially recognizes lane splitting as a legal practice. Although I have heard on the grapevine that Utah has allowed it. So what gives? Why are all the other states against this? Should this even be a topic of discussion? Is there a petition floating around somewhere that I'm supposed to sign? I'll use my mighty powers of influence to get lane splitting to be legal, at least here in Texas, damn it. Lane splitting is one of those controversial things that make people dig in their heels and commit for life for one side or the other. In fact, a person's stance on lane splitting is 93% more likely to last than most marriages. That's the state of the world we're living in today, my baby yams. Now, that's not true. I made it up. Now, don't worry, while we do try to do as much research as possible, if I do make up a fact, I will always tell you guys. I won't let you down like that. From a rider's perspective, lane splitting makes commuting more efficient, saves time, and helps to keep them out of harm's way. It might sound counterintuitive, but riding between traffic can actually keep riders safer by eliminating their exposure to rear-end collisions and easing traffic lane congestion. At least that's what Rob Dingman, that's a weird name, president and CEO of the American Motorcycle Association, the AMA, says. And who am I to argue with the man? From a driver's perspective, it's pretty easy to be nervous about a motorcycle zipping through traffic a foot or two from your car door, especially if you don't live in an urban environment that is heavily populated with motorcycle riders. Most American car drivers would freak out if a bike went past them in traffic. Ask me how I know. I've been beeped at more times than I care to count by American car drivers when I filter to the front of a traffic light. Areas with a low rider population are more likely to be against lane splitting than people who live in heavier rider-oriented areas. In places like NYC, for example, even though lane splitting is technically illegal, you'll most commonly see riders and other moped drivers filtering through traffic. Although it's been a minute since I was up in NYC. Can any New York squidlets confirm this for me? Merci beaucoup. When you aren't used to seeing motorcycles and they aren't a common occurrence on your daily commute, it's pretty easy to get sucked into the idea that a motorcyclist is cutting you off or just skipping to the front of a line. It kind of goes back to that whole stereotype of motorcyclists being jerks, millennial punks, entitled kids, etc. It's easy to subscribe to a stereotype if you've never taken the time to educate yourself on what you're actually opposing. Makes sense, right? Yammie Noob 2020. Vote for me. Emperor of America, double Daytona Slayer. Please don't vote for me. I have no qualifications. Think of the children. So why is lane splitting good? It's actually beneficial for both drivers and motorcyclists and for that big blue ball we call the Earth. We've already talked about how lane splitting can increase efficiency and reduce traffic congestion, but did you know it can also reduce your carbon footprint? Now, wait a minute. I thought the nice orange man on the telly said global warming is a hoax. Maybe I need to consider this more carefully. Just kidding, climate change is settled science. Do not at me. I won't have this quote-unquote discussion on my channel. When a motorcyclist lane splits and bypasses cars, the number of vehicles that are putting out exhaust fumes is decreased. It's pretty simple math, but let's go ahead and back it up with some facts. The Belgian analysis firm Transport and Mobility Leuven reported that if just 10% of cars were replaced with motorcycles, time spent in traffic would be reduced by 63% for all drivers. That's a 6% decrease in carbon emissions. Now let's check that math again. So you're telling me that people all over the world could spend 63% less time stuck in traffic. The air would have 6% less crap in it, and people are still arguing over whether this is a good idea or not. Again, I say Yammie Noob 2020. I've got an agenda. It involves turbo busas, woolies, and lane splitting, by God. Lane splitting has actually been around for quite a while, so it's surprising that it's taken such heat in the US, especially since heat is where it all started. Early motorcycle models like the two-stroke couldn't sit idling in traffic without overheating. Moving helped keep the engine cool, so it was basically born out of necessity on those air-cooled models. Some of the older bikes still cruising around need to keep moving to reduce the risk of overheating, and believe it or not, even a newer bike with a top-of-the-line efficient cooling system will crater if you get caught in standstill traffic in a hot climate, like Texas. Land of melted asphalt and organic, nature-made gooch juice. It really is a land all of its own. One of the only states where you can drive for 7 hours in a straight line at 90 miles per hour and still be in the same damn state. Safety is a big consideration when it comes to the legalization of lane splitting here in the US, and we all owe a big thank you card to California for serving as the safety guinea pig for the rest of us. One of the most dangerous situations for a motorcycle rider is being stuck in congested traffic. According to that same AMA, the American Motorcycle Association, it increases the risk of physical contact with another vehicle or outside hazard, and there are very few ways physical contact on a motorcycle is a positive experience. Ask me how I know. Something as small as a squirrel or a bird can be a disastrous experience for us motorcycle squids, so it makes sense to minimize the risk of contact with larger metal monsters like cars and jacked up cowboy trucks. Since California's legalization of lane splitting, the state has significantly fewer motorcycle fatalities from rear-ending than other states. If you happen to live in an area where lane splitting is legal, here are a few do's and don'ts I've picked up from my worldly experience. And if you don't live in an area where it's legal, it's still good to know. You never know when a law will change, or when you need to visit a new country, or when an emergency will strike and you might need to make that split-second decision to make an evasive maneuver. Do be reasonable with your speed. Zipping through traffic can cause the drivers around you to overreact and reduces your reaction time. During my travels in Europe and Israel, videos coming very soon on that, the filtering unspoken law was to keep it under 40 kph, or roughly 25 miles per hour. Don't be a speeding douchemobile. Do be responsible. Every choice you make on a motorcycle has the potential to affect your life and the lives around you. Don't be a reckless rider who only cares about getting to the front of the line. Do be respectful. If someone gives you extra room to split a lane, throw them a finger wave. Don't act like everyone on the road should move or get out of your way just because you're on a motorcycle. Remember, don't be a speeding douchemobile. Do pay attention. Don't see if you can redline the revs on your pocket rocket while you blast through the other cars on the road. The last thing you want to do is startle a driver in a big metal box who already thinks you're cutting in line. Don't be that guy. Who's getting sick of these do's and don'ts? Don't worry, we've got one more. Hang in there, my cutie pie. Do pay attention to the condition of the road before you decide to split. Loose gravel, uneven surfaces, and wet conditions can wreak havoc on a bike's ability to maintain traction on the paint used in the marked roadways. Do vote for me, Emperor of America, double Daytona Slayer 2020. While you're casting your vote on the delectable Yammie Noob, don't forget to check out the link in the description box below and cast your vote for our next giveaway bike if you sign up as a patron. There's some pretty sweet options up for grabs and every vote matters, so go vote. Time is ticking on our current giveaway bike, so after you cast your vote, go ahead and check out how you can enter to win this sweet piece of exhaust blasting glory. If you want a sneak peek on the next bike we're going to be doing, go and check my Instagram, and hell, if you want to win that Ridge wallet, that's the only way you're going to be able to do it too. And yes, the winner will keep the seat I've been riding around on. No, I will not disinfect it. You're welcome. I'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Fact: when Apple was building a large data center in the middle of North Carolina, they wanted to occupy the property of a couple who had lived there for more than 30 years. When the couple refused to move, Apple bought the property for $1.7 million. Actual retail value? $182 grand. Now that's a lesson in supply and demand. I have an economics degree, don't you know? Goodbye.